Jourdan Lewis back at practice today, and there was a wonderful article by Patrick No. C. Walker about the mental hurdle that he had to overcome due to injury, and it had a touch of a human element to it. So I'm rooting for Jourdan Lewis. We hope all is well with him, and he's back out there with the Wands, and he's representing that number 2 out there. Salute to Jourdan Lewis. Can't wait to see that guy out there. Speaking of that guy out there, we see Trey Lance. He's one of those guys that he's going to have to fight for his role, his position. Of course, a lot of people looking at this saying, hey, man, this dude was a bust over there in 49ers land. But when you read deep into the context of what all happened over there in 49ers, there's a lot of beat reporters, a lot of writers and people who actually was out there at camp. And they said basically that he had the best arm, right? But the 49ers decided to part ways due to the fact that Brock Purdy, he excelled, and nothing wrong with that. They decided to keep Brock Purdy and have Sam Darnold as his backup. Now, instead of a person who's seeking to be the number 1 quarterback there. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I can't wait to see this guy. He's turning over to a new chapter. And on top of that, of course, Jerry Jones saw the opportunity and they jumped on it. They couldn't wait. When the phone was picked up, they had to close the deal. If not, this guy would have been on the Bills or he would have been on the Minnesota Vikings. And I believe the Detroit Lions were in the mix. So it's good that the Cowboys saw this. Oh, no. The other team was the Baltimore Ravens. They were really high on this guy, Trey Lance. So all of that works together for the good for Cowboys. We got us a solid number 2 backup quarterback now. He's just going to have to compete with Cooper Rush, and there's nothing wrong with that competition. We can literally see that they're teaching this guy, and they're going to try to implement their system upon Trey Lance. And there will be some development that's have to go through, picking up the playbook and the system and scheme. And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, we are trying to better our best. There's nothing wrong with purchasing life insurance, and that's what this is. Now, when you look at this dude right here, he's a monster. I can't wait to see him out there on the field come week 1. This is CeeDee Lamb at practice. He's looking dangerous. See dangerous Lamb. Can't wait to see him, and he's going to have a unbelievable year heading into the 2023 season. And then you can see the form, the delivery out of Trey Lance here. Coach Mike McCarthy is looking right at him, making sure that everything is good and everything is right for this particular quarterback to get comfortable within the confines of the system. This is good. He's out there practice. He's ready to go. And Lance, he's just going to do Lance things, try to elevate the room. And speaking of the room, you got all 3 quarterbacks here. They got one mission, one goal, and that is to lift up that Lombardi trophy at the end of the year. And they got to go through this process in order to get it. You know, let me repeat, they have to go through this process in order to get it. And the Cowboys, one way or another, regardless of it, everything is on the hinges of this guy right here, number 4, Rain Dakota Prescott. I'm looking at it from this aspect of it. We got CeeDee Lamb, we got Brandon Cooks, we got Michael Gallup, who's further away from that ACL tear. Thank God for that, right? You got a Jalen Tolbert. You got a dude that's elevated his game. Jalen Tolbert, unbelievable offseason. And let me add in Kevontae Turpin, who's a 4.29 guy that can take the top off the defense. I'm looking at this offensive room, fantastic. I'm looking at the running back room, fantastic. Explosiveness everywhere. So you got a lot of things on the table. This is like a buffet, and you can pick your poison, whether you want to go deep pass underneath or even if you want to do a toss sweep. These running backs can take it the distance. So I can't wait to see that on the running back side. But I do love the fact that we got unbelievable insurance in the quarterback room as well. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. Here we go. We got Prescott, Rush, Lance. You got all 3 quarterbacks learning and picking up the system. Well, one that's learning and picking up the system, and his name is Lance. DC for life, not for short. Let's get it. Salute.